This little tutorial is going to be about Gilding Flakes, hence the box, hence no fan on, and hence I'm going to hold my breath because I love Gilding Flakes, but let's be honest, they do get everywhere. So I put some of the Wild Spider double-sided adhesive onto a piece of white card this time, and I've used the snowflake file that we used earlier, but I've made it smaller. And cut this out of white card. So I'm just going to stick this onto here first of all. And I would probably have done a smaller card, a smaller square, but you know what? It's done now, isn't it? So we'll just get on with it. So it will be tacky. And what I tend to do is when I'm matting and layering, whether it's on adhesive or not, I put my fingers underneath, my index fingers underneath and my thumbs on top, and I just hover over the top, and I'm looking to make sure that the depth of the border here and the depth of the border down one of the sides is the same. And then you hope that your card stays straight like that, and then I just put it down in the middle and then let the sides come down, and I'm just going to press this down. So I'm going to take the carrier sheet and I'm going to use my spatula again. You need to keep an eye, if you haven't got one of these, keep an eye out on the Create and Craft website, because they come in and go out again. We can't keep them in stock, but they are really good. I remember when I first went to meet the guys at Brother, well, probably about 6 months into the journey actually, and they said, is there anything else you'd like us to work on? I went, yeah, I want a decent spatula, because when you put in the box, it's so piddly little thing, you can't do anything with it. And they looked at me as to go, oh, okay. But this is really good. Now I haven't got it quite even, but again, you know what? We can trim it down after we've got the Gilding Flakes on. So inside each of these now is obviously sticky. So I've chosen Gilding Flakes that have got quite a lot of silver in, because I don't necessarily want warm colours with a snowflake, but there are some coppers and golds in. So I'm just going to pull a bit of it out, and I'm kind of picking and choosing the bits that I want. So I don't want too much gold and copper, but I want a little bit so that it's not just solid silver, because then you might as well use sheets. But I do like the fact that you've got like little, I mean, these clumps here, if you look at this, look at this. I mean, there's a lot of foil there. So I would transfer it into a box or a tub, because there's no way you're getting all that back in here, no matter how hard you try. But just be aware that there will be bigger pieces, so I would really break it up, to be honest. In fact, this would be a good one to use like all the dusty bits that are left over, not the really, really fine stuff, but any little tiddly bits that you've got left over, just save now, because it's nice to put it through a stencil, especially if you're working with a smaller design with more elements to it. Look, it gets everywhere. It sticks on my nails and everything. Look at that. It's like my nail's been foiled. It's a very inexpensive way of putting foil on your nails. Look at that. It does wash off, just so that you know. Right, so I'm going to put the lid back on that before any more escapes. And then I would just put this inside the box. So I'd move that up, put this inside of the box. So get yourself an A4 box, and then just rub this over the top. So it's going to go around the edges, because there's glue there as well, because I cut the square on the outside bigger. So I would advise you do that, because then you don't even need to mat and layer it, so you're not covering another whole square with it, just to get the mat and layer to match. And it is a bit of a messy job, but it all washes off, so it's fine. And you just don't work under a fan or under an open window, because you will end up covered in it. And it's quite nice, because it's another one of those techniques where you get halfway through and you think this looks absolutely awful, but at the end it looks amazing. And you could do this with glitter. Now I did try, because I wanted to test all sorts of different techniques and see what worked and what didn't work. I did try putting the stencil on, and then so this white card now would be the stencil, and then putting Gilding Flakes on, and then taking the stencil off and putting another colour on. But getting the stencil off the Wild Spider is quite difficult, because it wants to grab it. It's double-sided adhesive, it's strong. And most double-sided adhesives will be like that. So, and then I tried it with spray adhesive, but the spray adhesive wasn't strong enough really to hold the Gilding Flake in place. It just started to peel off. It was a bit, yeah, it wasn't very good. So I tried all different ways, and then I thought, right, this is going to be the best way. So you cut your shape, your design out of card, stick it onto your double-sided adhesive, and then rub this through. So when you get to a stage where you can't feel any bits that are sticky anymore, then just stand it up and just tap off, just pull off any bigger bits like this. And then I just get a stiff brush. You can buy special sponges, but I find a stiff brush just works. And I just hold my brush down. I mean, this has got bits of paint on and all sorts, this brush, but it works perfectly for this. And just start to rub over your design. This is where it starts to float and you get covered in it. It's part of the fun. So you're now just going to keep working. And if there's no glue there, it can't stick. So just keep working on areas where it wants to attach itself. And just don't go at it, you know, full belt. Just do a little bit at a time. And again, everyone will be different, unless you do it in a solid colour, obviously. But everyone will be different because you've no control over where that flake goes, which is quite nice. And if you're somebody that likes a certain style and a certain way and everything else, this is a nice way just to push you out of that comfort zone a little bit, because I'm very much like that. And you kind of avoid it for ages and you're like, no, it's not me. When you try it, it's really good fun. And at the end of the day, it's a piece of card. So if you don't like it, you get another piece of card and you start again. So I'm just going to keep working. Now I put the side, this white card has been down on the scan and cut mat, so it's picked up a little bit of the adhesive. So I'm going to see if my adhesive remover will get rid of it, because I haven't tried it with flake before, but if it does, that's brilliant. And if it doesn't, we'll have a shabby chic snowflake. Either way, it'll look lovely. Right, so don't be tempted to blow it, okay? Don't be tempted to do that. Just keep going with the brush and get rid of those stray bits like that. And then once you've put your lid on, then you can blow it. So I'm going to stick that in there and that in there for now, and I'll deal with that later on because we're going to use Gilding Flakes again. So I'll move that out of the way. Any big bits, put back in the box. Any little bits, don't put back in the box. I'm just going to get my bin from under here and I'm just going to brush off into the bin now. Right, so let's see if my adhesive remover might not work, but it's better that I try it, and mine doesn't work, then you try it and you ruin your design. So I've got a little bits of stray here. Yeah, it does, it takes it off. That's amazing. This was an EK Success product as well. So if you look at American Crafts, just look for an adhesive remover. You might find one on the website because it takes that excess foil off, which is great. That's fabulous. That's another reason to buy that product, because it works. I seem to have got a stray bit of paper there, so it might be. Just going to peel that off because that's annoying me. I think it's a bit of the backing that's been left on, and I want this to be perfect. So let's see if we can get that off. I don't want to play today. No, I think it's a bit of adhesive that's gone a bit awry. Right, let's keep going with this then. The trick with this is to kind of use it in one direction rather than backwards and forwards. So it doesn't matter which direction. So I would go with the lines of the chevron there, but rather than doing that, just move it in one direction. It works better. And this one I've had for, how long have I had this one? About 18 years. So when I say you don't have to buy them over and over and over again, you really don't. So now I've got rid of any bits, I can just blow any stray bits off, and that gives you your snowflake with your Gilding Flakes. So again, really quick, really simple Christmas card. Look at that. And then it just, as the light hits it, look, just fabulous, isn't it? So another really quick, simple technique to make really inexpensive, quick Christmas cards. So if you've got 150 to make, this is a great one to do. And just, you know, mix and match. You can use the same snowflake 5-6 years running. You just change the technique and that's your Christmas cards done. So again, I'm going to wipe down, get the foil off my nails, and then we'll come back and do something else.